Why it won't ever work with the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So why it won't ever work with the narcissist. This is something you never knew before. You see, you were trying to fix an unfixable relationship. You were trying to patch up holes that the narcissist kept puncturing in that boat that you were on with them. Remember, the boat that you were on with them, this is a figurative example, they were trying to capsize that boat with you in it because they had another boat on a different part of the ocean of abuse, if you will, that they were going to jettison your boat from onto that person's boat. That person's boat's known as the new supply. New supply does not have to be a romantic interest. It could be a recycled source of supply. It could be a new source. It could be the narcissist that you're considering. It could be their parents' house that is a safe space for them. Who knows who the new supply is? And to be fair, I don't give that any oxygen because the new supply is either a toxic person themselves, a recycled person, or they are a clean slate and they're about to find out what I found out and unfortunately what you found out. But when you didn't know that the relationship was unfixable, you kept on trying to do things. You kept on trying to patch up those holes in the boat that the narcissist was puncturing. The narcissist was hoping to capsize you, your relationship, and everything about you. Having said all these things, you didn't know that the narcissist knew what they were doing. You didn't realize that they did it deliberately. You didn't realize that they did it intentionally and on purpose. You also didn't know that they were doing it with other people simultaneously when they were with you. Now, maybe you were the spouse of the narcissist, or maybe it was your business partner or your sibling or somebody. You have your own experiences of toxicity with this person you're considering. So do other people. The difference between you and the other people is you're healing, you're getting the wisdom, you're applying the tools, and you're understanding that you're gonna have to cut ties with this person or get as far away from them as fast as you possibly can once you have the access or the means to do so. But the narcissist knew what they were doing, when they were doing it, how to do it. And they also knew that your relationship with them had an expiration date. Now, I've said this for years in videos. What it means is once the narcissist deems that you don't provide for them what they need you to provide for them, as you did when you were in the beginning of that relationship, usually they begin to devalue you more and more and more, and they burn you out, and then they insert a new person into your spot or into a relationship with them. That's why the narcissist is loyal to nobody. They don't care about anybody. They want people around them to do things for them. They want to continue to punish people for getting too close to them. The narcissist wants to infiltrate insidiously people's lives, their mindsets. They want to steal their ideas, their hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals, purpose, and more. And all these things encompass one thing, which is toxicity. You were unaware about toxicity. Again, you probably thought what toxic was a oil drum with a skull and crossbones on it saying toxic waste, stay away. Okay, well, that's what toxic is, but toxicity also has two legs and walks just like you do. They breathe the same air. They do the same things that you do, meaning they have access to smartphones. Maybe the narcissist you're considering has a job. I can't tell you. What I can tell you is that these people blend into society and they creep into people's mindsets and lives. And what they want to do is place people in one of three spaces, and all three of these are interchangeable, but they're unique to themselves and they all equal toxicity. One is the devaluation stage, two is the narcissistic fog, and three, the trauma bond. That's a whole different concept, and it's a very, very challenging and debilitating place to not only be existing in, but to break free from it. Everything you're learning about narcissism is your real life experience being coupled with the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle, and you're putting two and two together. You are different than most people because you found the needle in a haystack. You are becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered. You're now beginning to realize that this is why it will never work with the narcissist. The narcissist burns people out. They chew them up, they spit them out, they crumble them up like a sheet of paper, throw them away in the freeway. The narcissist mocks people, they laugh at people, they give people the smirk, the side eye, they blame people. One thing the narcissist will never do is be able to actually look in the mirror and be authentic or introspect or be honest. You see, honesty is the nemesis of the narcissist. They want you, or wanted you, to be honest so they could learn everything that you were doing, so they could steer you in the direction they wanted to steer you in. But when it comes to honesty on the behalf of the narcissist, they will never be honest with you. They will be vague. They will have to remember the lies that they told to you in the past, and then if they don't remember them, just say they never said those, i.e. gaslighting, or maybe they did gaslighting intentionally. What they did is they took the best of you and they gave you absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing in return other than a relationship you had to heal from. So whether you were in the relationship for a day, a week, a month, a year, 30 years or more, you now understand that not everything is how it appears to be on this planet called Earth, and not everybody is who they appear to be on this planet. And also, many people wear masks. Many people are performing for audiences when they're on a train, a plane, an automobile, when they're at work, when they're in traffic, when they're in the household, when they're with their best friend, when they're on vacation. People are performing for everybody. Now, by no means am I saying that everyone's toxic or everyone's the narcissist. Quite the opposite. What I'm saying is you're learning something that you had no idea even existed, which is called mindset. It's called spirituality. It's called toxicity. It's called empathy. It's called narcissism. You're learning that your energy is important. You're learning that your clarity is instrumental. You're learning that now you know you could never fix that person. You couldn't fix the relationship, and you could do no good at all in the eyes of the narcissist because they were too busy trying to devalue you, disrespect you, treat you less than a complete stranger, take you for granted, and punish you for being you. This is what they had done, and it's what they're doing right now. All of these things equal when you realize that it will never be enough, or it will never work out with the narcissist. It can't work out. It couldn't work out with you. It will never work with the new supply, no matter what you think, and I will talk about that in a moment. It will never work out with their parents. Let's say that the narcissist, their parents are still alive and they go back to their parents because their parents are just as toxic as the narcissist, or they enable the narcissist, or whatever they're doing. Well, do you think that that household is puppies and rainbows and unicorns and ice cream? It's not. It's just as toxic as your relationship. It could even be worse. I will tell you this, that the narcissist is a shapeshifter, and they will slither all over the planet looking to infiltrate people's lives that aren't strong enough to go no contact, who haven't healed, or who don't know what narcissism is. That's why once you get the wisdom, you need to go no contact, block the narcissist, delete them, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? But it would never work with the narcissist. It could never work with the narcissist. So fast forwarding to the new supply, you may know who the new supply is. And if you do, I'll just tell you, knowing who the new supply is never a good experience. But if you found out, you found out. Number one, you shouldn't be spying on the new supply. Number two, you should be understanding that that person, the new supply, is either getting punished or they are punishing the narcissist, but it won't end well for them no matter what you think. Number three, you need to realize that if the new supply appears to be living their best life and all the filters and they're traveling all over the world and they have all the fancy clothes and they're jet setting and they have drinking the champagne and all these things and butlers, whatever it is, that's just a mirage. Remember, it's a house of cards. The narcissist or the new supply may have money, but life isn't about money. Life is about abundance. Life is about growth, positivity. Life is about helping the planet. Life is about creating. Life is about being an honest, authentic person, not hiding behind the narcissist's money or the narcissist hiding behind someone else's money. So remember, when you're on social media, no matter what platforms you're on, not everything is how it appears to be, specifically in this day of AI. And no, I'm not AI, and no, I don't generate AI. And if you see any videos out there with me, they're not mine, because I am an original content creator. I've been doing it without a script for 5 years. I'll be doing it for the next 56 years. Point being is that it will never work out with the narcissist. It couldn't work out with you. It didn't work out with their own kids or stepkids. It didn't work out with other sources of supply before you met the apex predator. It won't work out with the new supply. It won't work out with any job, with any hobby group, with anything with the narcissist. Because think of the narcissist as a ticking time bomb, which is ready to detonate whenever they don't get what they want. Now you need to understand this part of the video and understand it very clearly. There are dozens of times throughout the day when the narcissist doesn't get what they want. Some examples would be this. If they're texting somebody and that person doesn't respond to them, I am not referring to you. I'm referring to, let's say the narcissist is talking to their toxic sister who's just as toxic as they are, but their sister doesn't get back to them. Well, that will make the narcissist's fragile little ego take a little hit. There is one micro example of when things don't go the way of the narcissist. Another way is, let's say someone cuts off the narcissist in traffic. Do you think that they're just going to let that go? No, they're probably going to flip them the bird or beep their horn or road rage on. I don't know what they're going to do. What I would say is this: if you drive and I don't, but if you do, be safe out there. Really be patient and understand that there are dangerous drivers out there and they're everywhere. Getting back on point, you need to understand that many things don't go the way the narcissist wanted them to go in any one day of their life. When you were in the relationship, let's say you lived with the narcissist, maybe even married them, or you were close to them, but you lived with them, what would happen? Sometimes they would come home and you would be home and you'd be in a great mood because maybe you had a great day or something went really well. And what would the narcissist do? They would take it out on you. You didn't even do anything. And you would be scratching your head saying, why are you being mean to me? I just had a great day. I just had a fantastic day. I closed the deal. I got a promotion. I'm about to go on vacation in a week, or we're going on vacation in a week, or whatever happened. They would look at you and they would take it out on you. Maybe they would blame you for not tying your shoelace. Maybe they would blame you for not doing the laundry. Maybe they would blame you because there was a little speck of dirt in the corner of one of the rooms upstairs. Maybe they would blame you because there isn't enough gas in the car. I don't know what it would be, but they would look for an excuse to punish you. And it's not for any reason other than they couldn't take it out on the person who just blew up their day at work or wherever they were. See, the narcissist needs a punching bag. They need a sounding board. They need someone to regulate them and someone to absorb the toxicity. That cannot be you any longer. If I knew what I know now back then, I would have run for the hills the minute I met the raging narcissists, plural. But I didn't know this. I went through most of my life being taken advantage of, being taken for granted, etc. And I'm sure you did too. Well, then lo and behold, you meet the toxic apex predator, the narcissist, which is the person who turned you onto my channel. Not them directly, but this is why this is the relationship you need to heal from. And you found my channel, and here you are. That person did a lot of damage. That damage needs to be unwound. That damage is because the person you're considering, they tried to destroy your life, ruin your life, take everything out that they couldn't handle or process themselves on you, make you a shell of yourself, steal your identity, your hopes, dreams, aspirations, and more, and then they would discard you or take you for granted and drag it out as long as you would stay subservient to them. This is what the narcissist does. So imagine, if you will, the narcissist is on an island in the middle of the ocean, and all they have are a couple coconut trees, some shelter, clean water, and some food. But there's no internet. There are no people. It's just them, and they have to stay there for a month, 30 days. And no, this isn't Survivor where you get to win $1 million or $10 million. No, this is a hypothetical example with a raging narcissist on an island where they are safe, the weather will be fine, but there will be no internet, no updates, no social media, no news, nothing, just them alone. And they will be safe. There's nothing but food, water, shelter, and Mother Nature. Do you think that they would have a good time during those 30 days, or do you think that they would grow or advance or change or heal? They wouldn't. They would be dreading every second being on that island. And do you know why? It's because they wouldn't have something to distract them from. They wouldn't know what to do. They would try to get the coconuts and smash them open and drink coconut milk and eat the coconut and all that. That would get boring after probably a couple hours. They would try to weave baskets out of the banana leaves or the leaves of the palm trees, the coconut tree. Guess what? That will get boring. Or maybe they couldn't figure it out and they get frustrated. They would go swimming in the ocean a few times, but then again, they would say, no, my skin's dry. It will never be good enough. But you know what they won't do? They won't look out into the sunrise or the sunset by themselves, sitting cross-legged or Indian style like I am right now. And I'm in the Carolina woods, and this is a hypothetical example of them being on the beach, and say, wow, I really have 29 and a half more days out here. And this is a good opportunity for me to introspect, for me to grow, for me to think about all the damage I've inflicted upon people, innocent people, all the lives I've ruined, all the money I've stolen, all the crypto I've hidden, all the relationships I planted seeds in to divide wedges between those people and everything else. They won't do that. All they will do is count every waking minute, using a sundial if they're smart enough to figure it out, and they're probably not, saying, oh my gosh, I have 28 days, I have 26 days. They will be counting that clock down, tick, 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 and eventually they'll lose track because there's no one doing it for them, and they're lazy and they're cowards, and they lack ingenuity. So none of this probably will take place with the sundial, but eventually, on the 30th day, what are they gonna do? They get picked up, again, hypothetical example, they get picked up, they go back to humanity or civilization, grab a shower, look in the mirror and say, yep, back to work. They're not going to change. It will never happen. That's why it will never work with the narcissist. It couldn't work with you. It wouldn't work with the new supply, and it will never work with anybody. The narcissist needs people. They need to be needed. They need to control people. They need to move people around like chess pieces on the chessboard. And the narcissist always overplays their hand. They're cocky, they're arrogant, they are entitled, and they believe that nobody will ever figure out who they are. Well, a funny thing happened along the way. I figured it out, and you have too. And now you're understanding that you are stronger than you know, and that the narcissist will never, and I mean never, change. That's why you must cut the ties from this person, the emotional, the financial, the physical, and spiritual. If you've cut them, fantastic. If you're healing, great. If you've gone no contact, keep no contact. If you're just implementing boundaries for the first time, or you've mastered them, maintain your boundaries. You must understand this is a journey. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It will take time. It will take a lot of time, but in your time you will heal. If you utilize the tools that I provide for you with each and every video, and from all the amazing comments from all the four corners of the globe. You see, at one point I was the new supply. At one point you were too. At one point we had no idea. Now that we know what narcissism is, what toxicity is, and how beautiful and abundant you are what I call the beautiful bright shining light. When you wrap your head around those things, you realize that you were nothing but a fuel source for this person. You were nothing but a walking apology. You were nothing but a walking ATM. You were the unpaid helper. You were the cook, the cleaner, the chauffeur, and the person who regulated them. And you got nothing in return but toxicity that you had to get out of your mind, out of your veins, your energy, and everything about you, which is what you've done, or it's what you're doing. So before I close the video, understand something. It will never work out with the narcissist, with anybody. It can't. The narcissist is always in competition with whomever they are with at any one moment, for attention, for credit, for accolades, for pats in the back, for attaboys, for people looking at them or not, for having to try to manipulate people into doing things for them. The narcissist can never, and I mean never, look in the mirror and say to themselves, wow, I did a lot of damage, I want to change. That's not going to happen. If you think it will, you need to think again. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And understand this. This may be the first video you're watching. If it is, you may think that someone is getting the best of what you put into the narcissist. In other words, someone's reaping the rewards or the benefits or your hard work of what you did with the narcissist. Well, that's not true. What's happening is whoever the narcissist is with is getting punished, peppered, love-bombed, devalued, or discarded. Play that and play it again. That's why you need to get as far away from these people as fast as you can and heal and really maintain your boundaries and go no contact. And one more thing before I close the video. It will never be enough for the narcissist. You could own your own city, town, state, country, ethos, solar system, or whatever the next biggest thing is. The narcissist will never, and I mean never, be satiated. They'll never be happy or satisfied. They are always looking for the next new thing, whatever that is. That's why these people, i.e. the narcissists, are sinking ships, ticking time bombs. That's why the relationship you were part of, it would never survive, because you were in a relationship with a person who was in competition with you. They didn't love you. They didn't care about you, no matter what you think, because they were peppering you with abuse, stringing you along, future faking you, blaming you, having you doubt yourself, and having you get burnt out because they were pressing on the gas pedal of abuse more and more and more. The more they pressed, the less you had. The less you had, the more they looked elsewhere. The more they looked elsewhere, the less that they wanted to spend any time with you other than you paying their bills and doing things for them. That's why all these relationships end in a place called Destructionsville. That's why you need to heal from this relationship, and that's why I create videos each and every day, to pay it forward to those of us who may not even know that we need help, and for those of us who were in the toxic, narcissistic, abusive cycle, who continue to come back to get your cups full. That's why I create videos, to pay it forward. That's what I do, and my hope is when your cup is full and you've healed properly, you can do whatever you need to do to help pay it forward too. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye. This is a good spot, by the way. It's really nice.